There are 3 big projects that I want to accomplish to finish this homestead area. The first has to do with this line of sand that's trailing up the mountain. And a couple of you guys have commented about it already in previous episodes. This is going to be where a tunnel goes. Over here to the left is the second project. This is a pond. It already is big and beautiful, but I would like to expand this out and make it a huge, big, beautiful feature pond for the area. Something worth having it be named and to extend all the way over to the buildings of the homestead. I want the lake to shine and lap up near where I'm at and kind of fill in a little of the space here between me and where I usually work and the mountain behind me. Speaking of the mountain, it is covered in cobblestone and I hate it. I hate being able to look up and see. It just ruins the mountain for me. I just don't know how this happened. In the very first episode, there was lava and then there was water, then there was lava and there was more water, and it just happened naturally. Regardless of how it happened, I don't like it, and it is going to be a lot of work to take it down. With 3 big digging projects ahead of us, it is definitely time that we go get ourselves a beacon so we can speed up the process. As I head into the Nether, I have a confession to make. I've never actually defeated the Wither myself. Not by myself, at least. I've played on a lot of SMPs in the past, which means I've definitely had beacons and used them before. I've had lots of skulls from the Wither skulls and things because you work with other people who are, well, more skilled at the game than I am. Besides all that, this is not a multiplayer world. This is my own personal world, which means there's nobody I can lean on for support, and I am going to have to go do this myself. We found a nether fortress the very first time that we came to the nether, so I've already killed a few of the wither skeletons, but I don't have any of the heads yet, and today we are looking for 3 of them, so we can put, well, that was easy. Hopefully the other 2 are just as fast. Did you guys see that? I'm glad I was recording. I just got here, I almost hadn't started recording yet, and we've already got our first skull. Some part of me was really thinking maybe the second one would have one too, just because that would be, no, okay. We got one, I better put it away for safekeeping. I'm gonna drop the wither skull in my ender chest so that if anything happens to me, it is safe and we're gonna get back on the hunt, which we barely started. Most of the nether fortress that's here closer to my home is actually in the Soul Sand Valley or the Basalt Deltas, so I have pretty good luck. In general, the skeletons are spawning very quickly, often even in multiples. I gotta deal with a few other, like regular skeletons and such. But mostly a lot of the skeletons that we're looking for, which is awesome. Hopefully, with a little bit of luck, this won't take too long. I've been at it for a little while. I thought I'd pause and check and see how many wither skeletons I've actually killed already. I've managed to get 1 skull, but I got the first one so fast. It's really feeling like this is taking forever. Hooray! We got a second skull! Yes! Okay, just 1 more to go. Finally, we got a 3rd skull and we can get out of this fortress. I am so done with this place. Check it out. 3 wither skulls ready to go. Because this was my first time fighting a wither, I decided it would be better if we really prepared and got everything stocked up that I could think of. I even watched a couple of other videos online of other people fighting the wither just to remind myself, even though I've seen it before. I stocked up on potions, I got pumpkins and iron ready to make golems, and I definitely picked up all the eggs that I had so we could get some black roses. After gathering all the supplies, I headed over to the very bottom of my mine. My regular mine goes down to bedrock, so I thought that would be a good place to find a tunnel and just dig to the end of it and set up a room so that I could make this battle happen. I definitely want to use all of the tricks and resources available to me to make this fight as easy as possible, because again, this is literally my first time ever fighting a wither. Even though I was really prepared, I was still kind of nervous, like that special I haven't done this before type of nervous. And so I just did a double check that I had everything ready and added the third head. Just like that, I defeated my very first wither, and you know what? That was way easier than I expected. In fact, I was even over-prepared. I barely even got into the stuff I brought with me. I constructed a beacon using the star that I got from the wither and immediately gathered supplies so I could put together my very first beacon. This allows you to dig a little faster, so if you've never used it before, I recommend. I tell you what, this was definitely worth the time I put into it. In the past, I would just go ahead and dig normal because I didn't think a beacon would really save that much time, but I think it made a huge difference. It also made me feel really good about myself. Now let's take down that mountain of cobble. After digging out the space for the lake, I realized I needed to stop by my trading village. And here, this is one of my favorite interiors. I haven't shown you guys, but as you are going to put together sculptures in the sculpture shop here, we have clay and mud and various different things that you would use to mold beautiful pieces of artwork. There's a little bit of clay that's spilled onto the floor, and then up on the shelf are some of the finished painted pieces that have been made perfect for viewing. There is a little storage over here where you can see I keep a lot of the dirt and the packed mud, at least for now, so that it's handy to get where convenient, but inside is where the magic happens because this is where the mud farm is. All I have to do is put the dirt in my offhand and use the shovel, and once you get going, it gets faster and faster, and this is way easier to do than to actually take a bottle of water and splash it over the top of a piece of mud and then pick it and blah, 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 blah. Just, if you know you're gonna need a lot of mud, and you don't have a mangrove forest nearby, make a mud farm. It's totally good. With mud and dirt placed all over the bottom of the lake, I started the process of really filling everything in. And this is the best tip I have. Go every other block with the water, and you can mostly skip the block unless you're turning a corner. Once you have the first layers down, it's really easy to refill because you've already got the water sources there. And then on each of these corners, you're going to do every single block just to make sure it hits. And This is going to be done on all of 2 different sides. Sometimes for the really big areas, kind of like this lake that I've got, you'll have to do it on all 4 sides or at least 3, but then the water starts to fill in itself all by itself, which is really neat to watch. It takes a little bit of patience, but in the end, it's not as hard to do, or at least as time consuming to do as you would think, to fill in the entire lake. I already filled in a couple layers of this lake, and I just think it's a little bit too short still for the valley that it is supposed to kind of take over. So I've decided to go up even a little bit further, up a few layers higher. I'm just finishing off some of the area on this side, but I can already tell at least 1 more layer, maybe even 2, so that the lake is as big and as grand as I have in my mind. I'm standing on a block in the very middle of the lake, which you can see the water hasn't risen all the way up to the level that I would prefer it to be. And that's because most of the layers at the very bottom weren't entirely filled in because I got lazy at one point, or because the original lake has, it doesn't matter. One way or another, I'm going to be putting an island in the middle of the lake. So all this water is going to come up very quickly and easily to the level that we're looking at, because I just think it's big enough that a little bit of land in the middle is going to look so adorable. Hopefully we can make it big enough that it'll not only fix some of the water flow problems that we're dealing with, but it'll also have room for a tree in the middle just to add to the landscape that I'm creating outside my door. I think lakes are a really beautiful way to fill in your Minecraft world and make it come alive. The water, of course, being just pretty all by itself. But if you look at a map, maps are covered in different types of water elements. Whether that's ocean, river, lakes, whatever it is. At least in my area of the world, I live in Wisconsin, and we just have lakes everywhere. There are 3 big lakes just right in the middle of the town that I live in. I guess that means I have learned to think of lakes as being a natural part of the landscape that we have around us. And so for my Minecraft world to be ideal, we definitely need to fill it in with beautiful water. If you're ever looking for an idea of what to come up with to build in your Minecraft world, really beautiful landscapes, such as lakes, might be a terrific way to fill in the space if you don't know what to do with it, but also make it look really amazing. As you can see, I'm bringing the land up a little bit higher than the water level so that there's a little bit of a dome on top of the island here in the middle, and then we'll use some bone meal and tree saplings and give it a little bit of life. Check out the view of the lake from my starter home. You come, you walk right out, beautiful morning, and you look across. Look, I've got it all decorated and ready to go. Cherry blossoms on the other side. This makes me so happy. I'm in the middle of my tunnel that goes under the mountain, and it may look like I've made more progress than I have because I'm standing right in the middle of the space that's already been designed. But mostly I'm brainstorming. As you can see, the end of it has a long way to go. Not only that, but I still have to do the entrance and the exit to the tunnel and all the landscaping on the outside of the mountain to work it into the tunnel. So it's got a long way to go, but here's what I'm brainstorming on. I've created 2 different panels. This one here where you can see it's just decorative, and then I think a second one for a doorway. I'm trying to decide exactly how I want to stack this up, but I think we will definitely continue with the spruce so that we have a little bit of a focused beam that goes up and across, because then we can create an arch, which of course is a beautiful way to break the area up. With the spruce going up all the way down and up the other direction, I want to do a little bit of the stone arch in the middle, but also put a light source in the middle. And so far so good, except for I've got more digging to do. All the space in between is also going to have to be dug out so that there's room for decorations, and I literally have to do 1 or 2 more blocks in every direction in this tunnel. I definitely underestimated the space I was going to need. For the top of it, I'm going to do the mangrove wood, and then I'm using one of the new bookshelves. I know that seems like an odd thing, but the decoration for the bottom of it looks so good. And I do like the way at least the first wall is coming together, but we need to address the second wall. I'm thinking that every other wall have a space dug out so that we can add a door. Well, not just a door, but an entire hallway, a path that can lead out into the mountain for other things like farms or maybe even storage. I definitely want to put a big, huge storage system together, and I haven't decided where to put it in the world yet, which is why I haven't done it yet. So maybe this would be a good place. I'm not sure. I also want to tie the elements from the previous design into the design with the door so that they look similar but also different. So definitely we need to pull in a little bit of both colors. Here's what I'm thinking. We'll put an oak door in the middle and recess it back just a little bit further, which of course means more digging, but that's fine. And then I want to pull in some of the green terracotta that I got from the traders in my village and the green bamboo, and somehow add in more of the oak and mangrove elements and still make it coordinate, but back in a little further. So the sides will be the same as the other panel where we go up with the terracotta. And then right next to the door, I'm thinking we go ahead and do a well, you know, I'm going to change my mind. Right over here, yes, bamboo on the sides. I've used the polished deep slate bricks on the bottom, so I thought maybe we'd pull them on the top just to kind of tie things together, which I like, and then it at least matches the other one. So I think that's good. It just seems a little boring still. Maybe if we add the signs to either side of the door, just to kind of add in some symmetry. No, it's in the, no. I don't like that at all. Maybe if we change the oak trapdoor for the mangrove one. Ooh, okay, I really like that circle. It has beauty to it. Now maybe we add in a little, ooh, okay. I'm liking the combination of the 2 trapdoors. The signs on either side aren't working for me, but I want them to be associated with the door because I'm going to need actual signs. Maybe we'll try some other places to put them. Maybe just one. Maybe we can extend the mangrove along the top to add a little bit more color. Ooh, I like that. That's a really good line. I moved the oak sign out to the green and I love it. This is definitely going to be the second panel finished and ready. Now all I have to do is duplicate this all the way down the entire tunnel. This is going to take forever. It feels so good to have this tunnel completed, and now you may be asking me, Katie, where's this tunnel even go? Well, that is for another episode, but it might be something important, you know, on the other side of the tunnel. Thank you all for joining me on these 3 big giant diggy projects, and I hope you all have the best Minecraft day.